Welcome back. Well, the broader markets are holding up fine. So the mid-cap index is currently up around 0.4%. Don't think it's going to be as much in terms of participation as yesterday. So currently 1.89 lakh crore is what we've done in terms of total participation. And the BSE F&O segment is currently at around 80,298 crores. So do watch out for that segment in particular, because that was the reason why we saw that big jack up in volumes yesterday. But Tata Motors DVR continues to bleed. So currently that stock is still now down around 6%. But besides that, we have some amount of pressure coming into the likes of Petnet LNG, which is down around 3% at this point as well. But as the countdown to the budget begins, analysts believe the goods and services tax will help narrow the fiscal deficit. DK Joshi, Senior Director and Chief Economist of CRISIL, now joins in on the show to talk exactly about that. Hi Mr. Joshi, thank you very much for joining in. Can you first give us a sense in terms of whether we could see a partial implementation of the GST in this budget, and if in case that comes through, then what would be the impact on fiscal deficit according to you?
Well, I think this year might be difficult, but if it does come through, full-scale implementation would take more consensus making. But even a partial will take some time, because I think you still have to bring state governments into the fold. If you do implement, then I think the gains will be in terms of higher GDP growth, which will not be visible in the first year, but maybe in the following year. They will be in terms of higher tax collections. So what the GST will do, since it's a structural reform, it will make the path of fiscal consolidation less painful, because it will give a kick to growth. At the same time, it will boost the revenues also, because I think a lot of efficiencies will come in if you implement GST. So I think it's going to be a game changer as far as the fiscal consolidation path is concerned. Without that, I think you'll have to rely more on boosting non-tax revenues, etc., which is a short-term play, but not a medium-term play as GST is.
Mr. Joshi, hi, morning. But there are irritants like and big ones like what happens to petroleum, and not all states are on board. So how should one go about it? Because this really has been an issue which has been there for the last 3-4 years, but somehow we've not been able to see the implementation.
Well, I think my sense is that even if petroleum is a very sticky issue, because there are varying rates in different states and it has revenue implications. But I think even if you begin by implementing it without bringing petroleum into the fold, at least even that will be a positive factor. And our assessment is that if you do that in 2015, let's say, then you bring down the fiscal deficit to 3.3% in next 2 years without crunching too much of expenditure. Without that, I think the fiscal deficit is likely to stay above 4%. So even a partial rollout would be better than not rolling it out at all.
Okay. If in case there is a partial rollout, Mr. Joshi, how would it change tax revenues? Give us a sense in terms of what sort of boost would we see on tax revenues, and if in case there is a partial rollout, and what would you define a partial rollout as well?
Well, I think partial rollout would be without the petroleum, and I think now let me give you a sense of how it's going to impact the tax revenues. There are two sides to it. One is it has been estimated that if you implement GST, it will push growth by somewhere between 0.99% to 1.7% lift to growth will take place, to GDP growth. So which essentially, I think we all know that when the GDP grows faster, you get a greater kick to the tax revenues, because the tax buoyancy itself is sensitive to how fast you grow. So there will be a kick to revenues on account of higher growth. The second aspect is the efficiency aspect. I mean, in the sense that this will simplify the taxation, the compliance, etc., will improve. So both higher growth as well as the better compliance will lead to higher tax revenues for the government. And I think that is where, when I said, that the fiscal deficit will come down to around 3.3% of GDP, even if you roll it partially, and will stay above 4% if you don't. I think that's a combination of the gain is a combination of both higher GDP growth as well as better compliance.
Okay. So if in case there is no partial rollout in this budget, what is the fiscal deficit number that you're working with?
Well, Well, I think for this budget, we are working with a fiscal deficit number of 4.3% of GDP, which factors in no introduction of GST this year. And even if you introduce GST this year itself, I think first of all it is difficult, and the benefit will take some time to play out. So our assessment is that fiscal deficit will be at 4.3% of GDP, provided I think that is also under the assumption that you push the non-tax revenue part higher, which means divestments of at least 50,000 crores.
Okay. Divestment of at least 50,000 crores. All right, Mr. Joshi, there's a lot more to talk about the budget, but we've completely run out of time. Thank you very much for joining in and taking us through your expectations, at least in terms of the rollout of the GST and what it could do to the fiscal deficit. Take a break, but back to the markets then. FNO cues are lined up with Ashish Chaturmutta of Fortune